I'm delighted to be here, and I want to thank you for inviting me. I do have to assure you, I am a construction worker, and my connection with the building trade goes back. My old man came over from Ireland and worked with John Murphy himself, would you believe? And if you know about cable gangs and trenches, he was a building worker. Two of my brothers were construction workers, and I was a construction worker, and I was a blacklisted construction worker, and we won our case at the High Court. I'm so thrilled that Eileen and the team have invited me to be here. I'm not sure that I'm the person that should be unveiling this, because these people are giants who gave so much to our movement back then. But I do remember the campaigns when I was in construction, Dump the Lump. They were talking about one death a day, nearly 400 construction workers a year. When I was in it in the late 80s and mid-90s, it was 3 a week. And 3 a week now sounds quite good, but that's the level of deaths we had. And if you put together all of the maimings, the injuries, and the industrial diseases that construction workers faced, it's taken an awful toll on our class over all those decades. And what this is about standing up for your rights, about the ability to organise and the ability to face down the employer. And what this simple, one of the best pamphlets you can get, it says, "We never gave up." And that's what Eileen and Harry and the team and all the Shrewsbury pickets and all those construction workers and the Orgreave campaigners that are with us here tonight and all the other workers. Let's not forget, back in the early 70s, there were London dockers put in prison as well, the Pentonville Five. They would use the entire might of the state to face down organised workers. And of course, they're doing it again today.
What it's all about, and what we're all about, is solidarity. The line goes, the most important word in the language of the working class is solidarity. Because if we haven't got solidarity, we get picked off one by one and we're beaten. It doesn't matter what workplace, it doesn't matter what you're doing, that's what happens.
I went to prison on the 19th of December. I suffer from claustrophobia. My daughter was 20 months old. My wife was 8 months pregnant. I'm not ashamed to say it, but I did contemplate suicide in prison. The trauma has never left me. When I was released from prison in June the 18th, 1974, I came home to my wife and my 2 daughters. I never seen them until March, although my father applied for permission at his cost to bring me out of prison to go to St. Asaph's Hospital to see my newborn baby. But he denied it. But I seen Dawn in March in prison for the first time. So after 3 or 4 days, the knock on the door, and it was Ken Monty, I knew well, because I was representing the contractors on Shot and Steel Action Committee. And he come into the house and Rita made him a cup of tea. Now he was very friendly with our fitter and the owner of the company, or the director of the company. And he said, "I've got some bad news for you." He said, "Dennis Catherwood's told me, he was the boss, that he's been advised by senior management that it would be desirable if John Mackenzie Jones didn't come back on the steelworks. And I'm here today to tell you, you're going to work Monday morning. You go to work Monday morning, because we'll be there waiting for you. If you stopped at the gate, we'll be there. The conveners will be there for you." And that's what I did. I went to work on the Monday morning, and I was stopped at the gate. And the security guy, the security guy's named Alan Roberts, and he said, "John, you're going to have to get off the bus." I got off the bus and the lads were kicking up. I said, don't kick up, just go back into the works and tell them what's happening. So when I got off the bus, I went to the security guard and they said, "We've been advised that you can't go onto the premises." And as I was still there, the conveners came across to me, asked what was going on, and I told them. And they went across the road, because there was other management, of senior management of British Steel there watching. And Freddie Edwards, the convener of the AUW, and Ken Monty, the deputy convener, went across to see them. And within 5 minutes they came back and they said, if you're not going in 30 minutes, the steelwork stops for me. 13,000 people were going to stop for me. In 30 minutes I went back in work. That's solidarity.
When we started the campaign off, we actually was a bit unsure where we were going, with no direction of what we were doing, where we were going. But Des had just died a couple of years before, Des Warren. I used to go visiting Des on a regular basis, and I watched him suffer over the years after what they'd done to him while I was in prison. Des was let down by the trade union movement, really, when he came out of jail. But his spirit was, you couldn't fault him.
I was never ashamed of being a picket. I was never ashamed that I'd been in court. But you do get vilified for it. But we campaigned as a team. Here in this room we met to campaign.
When we actually asked for help from the unions back in 2006, when we started the campaign, we immediately went to UCAT, because UCAT, it was the Construction Workers Union, and I have to tell you now, they stood up on the plate and they helped us. But we thought, no, an injury to one is an injury to all. And so we spread our wings and we asked every other union. And you know, it was absolutely amazing that the response that we got. In the end, we had 21 national unions who were affiliated to the campaign. Well, what they've got in common with building workers is we're all workers. And we all need to support each other, because if we don't support each other, we'll be smashed. And that's how it goes.
We didn't know each other when we started off together. We didn't know each other, but the likes of Eileen, the likes of Harry, and I would trust with my life, because we grew together as comrades. And that's not a word we use lightly, is it? Comrades are comrades, friends are friends. But we grew together as comrades and we stuck together all the way through. We got knocked back by the CCRC. We put the case into the CCRC in April 2012. And from that time, from April 2012 to 2017, there were 3 case officers and 3 commissioners at different times looking at the papers. And we got knocked back 3 times. And on the 3rd time of being knocked back, it's one hell of a kick in the guts when you get knocked back all the time. But our legal team, Bindmans, they said, we think you should go for a judicial review on the CCRC's decision. We think you should challenge it.
And also, I can't praise our committee high enough, because when we was in financial difficulties during many times with no money, the solicitors, you know, they don't just want the money off, they want the shit off your back, don't they? And all of us, all the 6 who were left, we put £1,000 each in. That just shows you a commitment. We got it back later on when we collected it off the trade unions.
We went to the appeal court, and I've got to say, because I love saying it, I love it, we won. We won against all odds. And Eileen was the driver. Eileen pushed it forward. Eileen kept it going. But we took on the judiciary, we took on the police, we took on the government, and most of all, we took on the British Secret Service.
As Eileen said earlier on, it's all about solidarity. And all the people, and the amount of people in this room, I didn't know, years and years back, I didn't know anybody. I know loads of people now. I don't just see them as friends, I see them as comrades. And not only that, it's that solidarity what got us through, as well as Arlene. Arlene's the reason why we won. You don't need to bother. Everybody knows it anyway. Thank you very much.
And in the name of Desi Warren and all of the Shrewsbury24 pickets, we will continue to fight for our people until we get social justice and a fairer society. And that's what this plaque will be about tonight, remembering our heroes, remembering our defeats and our victories. And this celebrates a victory tonight. We can win our way if we show solidarity. And I want to pay tribute to Eileen, to Harry, all of the team. And of course the pickets. The pickets are going to fight for their future. But let's not forget that Eileen and Harry and all those guys were not construction workers. They showed the best form of solidarity you can get, coming into a sector that's not your own and helping people that want to organise, that want to campaign. So this is a magnificent victory. I'm glad it's being hosted in this venue, which is a treasure trove of our victories and our defeats. And we will never give up. So I'm so delighted that you've invited me here tonight. I want to thank you all for coming out, but I want to ask you, keep the spirit alive. Keep your hearts warm to our cause. We've got lots of different versions around this room of what we believe in. And we've got lots of opinions about how we should get there. But the fact is, if we're not together as working people, as trade unionists, as socialists, as progressives, whatever you want to call yourselves, we will never achieve anything. So division is fatal, but unity is our strength. And let's keep going together and let's celebrate the Shrewsbury24. Thank you very much.
Up and down the nation, he gave the workers strength and courage. Up and down the nation, he taught us to prevail. He fought for safer building sites, he argued for £1 an hour. He was so successful, he put him in the jail. The guard said, watching on the boy, he said, my name is Desi Warren. That's your name, you fool, your number's what I need. He said, my name is Desi Warren. My name is Desi Warren. Number, it belongs to you. Only saying my name. The guard said, what's your number, boy? He said, my name is Desi Warren. It's your name, you fool, your number's what I need. And he said, my name is Desi Warren. My name is Desi Warren. Number, it belongs to you. Only say